Okay.
Weiter geht's.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Ja, weiter geht's.
So here we are in the middle of the sandstorm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to check out what's going on. So I'm going to detach Madora from my party. I'm going to send her to the north to see if there is anything worthwhile checking out. I can see that there's a spider egg here. I'm going to attack. And we actually get into a fight. Now, I actually want to attack the spider egg, but I need 4 action points to attack. And the problem is, normally I have these 4 action points, but the slow status that I'm getting from these weather effect is actually disabling me from attacking the spider. So I'm actually going to move away.
So the weather
The
influence?
condition
Okay,
in this
okay,
area
okay.
is actually making me lose action points because I'm diminished in my speed. Now the spider hatches and is kicking my ass here. And the problem with this spider is that these type of spiders, these are sand spiders, they can burrow themselves in the ground and then they can pop out again at any location they want. So I'm guessing he's probably going to target the nearest guy or maybe my wizards, which are the weakest enemies of his. So as you can see, he's burrowing here. He's popping out behind, he's popping out behind my wizard, exactly. And he burrows back and goes to the location where he came from.
Okay.
Which is quite annoying because I need to
Kill
get
him.
my guys. Yes, we will kill him immediately. Need to get my guys in front.
How tactical are the fights? Do we have to be very, very tactical specialists to
Well, the thing is, it depends. If you have like boss fights, they leave less place for actually errors and mistakes that you make. But right now it's 4 of us attacking 1 spider, so even if you make a little slip up, it doesn't really matter. I mean, you can still attack the spider and take him out. End our turn. I'm almost in range with my ranger. And maybe I can even attack him. I'm in attack range with my flare spell, which hits him pretty hard and puts him on fire. As you can see right now, he's actually on fire. That's his burning status. If we make it rain, he actually extinguishes, which is quite an interesting thing. That's to our disadvantage if he would distinguish, because he's getting damage over time because he's burning. 1 more hit and he's dead. Okay, excellent. So we know that there's actually quite some risk in this area, so I'm going to move up front with Madora, my paladin. And what I want to demonstrate here is that normally if I would have high perception, I could actually see ambushes and things that are about like this. This is a typical ambush situation, but her perception stat is very low. If I would have a character with high perception, I would actually see this ambush coming and I could actually gather my party to make them react to it. So these statistics are really important for the way that you actually play the game and the way you're going to handle your combat as well. Well, currently she's being pulverized here, which is not a good thing, but I'm going to leave her there in combat and do some other stuff with the rest of my party.
What happens when she's dead?
Well, the fight won't progress. This is her turn. So
Okay.
she's stuck in this little time bubble fighting the rest. And I'm going to switch to my guys here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to sneak past these guys with my rogue character. So if I go into sneaking, you can see that there's actually spiders here doing their thing. Now what I'm going to show you here is, this might be interesting. I'm going to get a little closer without being detected. So as you can see, this is the viewing cone of these spiders, right? If I take my abilities and go to the survival ability, I can put points into sneaking. So if I put 4 points in sneaking and I actually accept it, you can see that their viewing range actually diminishes.
And we can change the points whenever we like?
No, you can only spend the points once. So I applied the point and you can clearly see that it's a lot smaller. As I said, of course, with this game, the whole point is that you spend your points wisely, but every point does make a difference. So we're going to sneak as far away from that guy as possible. Excellent, perfectly. Moving, oh, nice. So, okay, we moved past them. Luckily, they didn't see us. And what we're going to do now is we're actually going to get my guys to me because we have a teleport pyramid.
Yes.
So we snuck by the fight and we actually can successfully get these guys to come to us with a teleport pyramid. So I'm going to move her teleport pyramid to Scarlet, and then I'm going to have Scarlet use it to actually get to me here. So now that the party is rejoined, we still have Madora that's stuck in combat, but that's okay. You know, she can be there until we actually find a way to solve it, because it looked like a pretty hectic fight. So we're going to continue here to that little goblin village that Ralphie, our favorite mount, spoke of. So I'm going to leave one of my characters behind, because I want to show you something specific that happens here later on. So now that the party is actually split in 3, we're going to enter this village. At the gate of the village, obviously, we have a goblin guard who's saying, hey, you can't pass here. And then we have another charm, intimidate, reason dialogue. But in this case, Scarlet is actually not perceptive enough to see the bonuses. So we could reason, because goblins are traders. We can say, hey, don't be so quick to dismiss me. We bring gold and goods for trading. And then he says, like, golds and goods, we respect those things. You have free entrance. But he does say you need to talk to the totem in order to gain the full favor of the village. Now in this village, in the center of the village, there's a totem that's actually making these things do things. Okay, so they really listen to the totem. If we talk to the totem, he tells us that he knows us, and he actually knows us really well, he says. But he says, if you indulge me in answering these questions for me, I can see if you're the righteous guys for this village or not, if you can have free passage or not. And we can say, okay, sure, I'm ready for the questions, let's go. Now what he does here is he says, okay, let us begin. Say you meet 2 soldiers on a strip of beach, and these 2 soldiers are drunk. Do you actually accept their orders, or would you stay true to your course and actually kill them because they're drunk soldiers? Now the funny thing is, this is one of the first things that happens in the game when you start the game. And this guy knows what decision you made. So normally you would give the favorable answer, like, yes, I would accept their orders without, even blinking. The problem is, he knows what you did. So if you're lying to him, he'll actually know that and tell you at the end that you're lying. The second question is, he says, like, imagine you meet a starving man. And this starving man, he wants to steal raw fish, which is also a situation that happens in the first village you come across. There's this man standing there and he wants to steal fish. And then you can tell him, like, sure, go ahead, steal a fish, I won't say anything. Or you can say, like, no, you can't steal, it's a bad thing to do. And when he steals, guards come up, and you can actually tell the guards, like, yeah, I saw him steal fish. Well, you told him to steal the fish, or you can say, like, no, he's not stealing fish. So in this case, we're going to say the favorable thing, like, yes, I would slap his hands, it's the wrong thing to do. And of course, finally, he says, like, imagine you meet a creature in distress. He's a beast of burden. Would you actually help him? Which we just did. We're going to say, I would go to great lengths to save it. Mm-hmm. And then he's actually okay with our answers. We have all of our answers righteously. The goblins do a little dance for us, and we can actually move around in the village and talk to these guys. Otherwise, we would have entered a village-wide combat.
And otherwise, when we made wrong decisions or wrong answers,
yes,
we couldn't cross? We
couldn't cross. Then he would make the entire village hostile, and we would actually have a really big fight here because there's only the 2 of us. So we had to solve it in a different way. But the most important thing for the totem is to be honest when you speak to him. So now we're gonna walk around. This looks like the corner of the village. That there you go. So the rock there disappeared, and she says, I found something, and there's a little hatch here. If we enter the hatch, we enter a subterranean cave, and in the cave there is a little shaman. So we're gonna talk to the shaman, and he says, hello there, and we're like, hey, who are you? And he says, like, so you stumble upon my particular method of ministering. What he basically does is, he's got a little contraption here that's connected to the totem, and whenever he says things, the totem actually, it's like a speaker box. So he can make the entire village do whatever he wants by actually speaking to the totem. So he's actually a pretty big fraud. So we can tell him, like, hey, what's going on here, man? We must decide what to do with you, you little trickster. We can say, well, you're lucky, I'm in a good mood. We're not going to fight. Or you can say, well, the goblins deserve to know they're being controlled by a fraud, and I'll be the one to tell them. So I guess we're going to select that option, right? Mm-hmm. So we enter combat, because obviously he's... oh god. He's done it now. So these characters that are here don't have high enough initiative. Holy smokes. They don't have high enough initiative, so what he did is he actually summoned all these enemies, and we're stuck in a pretty badass fight. Now we can go on and kill all these guys. I'm just going to try to see if I can kill them manually. Because this fight, I think your viewers got a good idea of how the fighting in the game goes, because this is one of those epic fights that's going to take a while. I'm going to also kill him with a handy keyboard shortcut that's not in the game, obviously, when it's out. And when we move on to the strange contraption, we can actually choose to talk through the totem. So now we can say, you know, dance for me, goblins, dance for your lives, or we can say, you will shower the source hunters with gifts, goblins. Or we can say, well, you will be friends to the source hunters who will be permitted to roam freely within and without the village whenever they please. So what are we going to choose? I guess you want the showering with gifts?
You lead me to choose this.
I
choose one.
You don't, really? You want to make the goblins dance? We can do that. You want to make the goblins dance?
No.
It doesn't matter. I would go for the showering with the gifts, because normally players would, you know, feel like, ah ha ha, I can...
Okay, second.
There we go. Choose the second one, so in theory, if we get upstairs, there should be some gifts ready for us. We can move out of here. We exit the cave, enter the village. The goblin that comes to us and actually says, so, source hunters, we have left a chest with all of our finest treasures at the totem's feet. So we know that they actually did that. And that's the treasure chest. But when we open it, we actually notice there's a bunch of broken bottles in there, there's some soap bars, there's a fishing rod in there. Basically, nothing really important. Now the problem is, if you know goblins are pretty greedy. So they've been lying to me and they've been giving me actually crap here. But hey, we were greedy to
kill
begin
them.
with. Kill them immediately. I'm gonna walk out of the village. There's a waypoint shrine here that's quite useful to activate. I'm doing this because I have a feeling we're going to get into a combat that we can't complete. And whenever you choose to flee a battle, you actually escape to the nearest waypoint shrine.
Okay.
But what we're going to do is we're going to switch to Roderick here, who's standing still in the storm. He's gonna walk down here, and he's going to encounter a guy that's in this corner. His name is Frederick, and he's wounded on the ground. So if we talk to him, we actually find out that Frederick was on top looking for this hidden lair of this wizard when his imp slave actually pushed him off the cliff. He saw opportunity to actually kill his master and he pushed him down, and now he's wounded on the ground, and he's basically asking us, you know, you should go in there, you should look for this bloodstone I wanted to begin with, and you should find my slave and tell him to come back immediately. And that's what we're going to do. I'm going to leave this guy here, select my other party members, and go look for that cave entrance. I don't know if it's a cave entrance, actually.
And this we will show in the next video, maybe.
We'll show that in the next video.